Hello, I'm Tim Martinez with the Disco Dish. I'm just taking a quick walk through the apple orchard. Let's see what we find. There's a nice baby apple. And there's a lot of apples here in the Velarde Valley. And so that brings me to my dish today. Pork chops with apple chutney. Okay, here's what we'll be cooking today. Pork chops, plain and simple. I'm gonna season those with salt and pepper. But here's the star of the recipe for the apple chutney. Apples, onions, vinegar, raisins, Velarde red chili powder, some jalapenos, and some ginger paste. Let's get to work. A little avocado oil. Huh, who's this handsome guy? So what we're gonna do is put the pork chops in the disco. And now we're gonna season those with salt and pepper. We're gonna let them cook about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and then we'll pull them off to rest. Nothing wrong with moving things around. And we're cooking with the disco. All the heat centered in the center. So what we want to do is rotate our meat to make sure they get cooked evenly. So what we're going to do now is flip them. A little salt and a little pepper. So the pork chops are ready. What we're going to do is turn down the heat, remove the pork chops, and let them rest while we get to work on that apple chutney. So we're going to cover these pork chops and let them rest. And now we'll get to work on that apple chutney. Medium to low heat, we're going to start with the onions. And we're going to cook these first. We got to cook them down until they turn translucent and almost start to caramelize. Get rid of that strong, some of the onions have a little bit of strong smell. We'll get rid of that, and we'll just get the flavor of the onions. A savory taste we'll have in this chutney. Now, we have the onions where we want them, nice and translucent. Now we're going to add the apples. We're going to cook these about 3 or 4 minutes to soften up those apples. Okay, so now we have the apples and they're softening up. They're not super soft yet, but I'm going to put in the jalapenos to let them soften up as well. So the goal here is to get those apples really soft. So the way I check them is with the edge of my spatula. I'll pull one aside and I'll cut it in half, and then I can tell the tenderness from that. We still have a few more minutes to go. So we're going to cook this about 3 or 4 minutes just to let everything marry, come together, and then we'll be good. So we're just about there. It's looking and smelling great. So looks like our apple chutney's ready. So we're gonna pull it off. Our pork chops are rested and ready. The apple chutney smells delicious. How about them apples? And that's the disco dish.